You will never be forgiven for it. You haven't got a cat's chance in hell of winning the general election. Shame on you for what you've done. It was willful, it was deceptive, it was deliberate, and it was wrong. And the worst part of it, Ben asked about, the impact on communities, the impact on services. The worst part of it is...
He also talked about welcoming diversity.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll talk about diversity in a second. The problem with welcoming diversity is if you do it in too big a level, you get division. And we're seeing that in many of our towns. The last 2 million that came from outside the EU under your watch, only 16% of them are working. Only 16% of that 2 million are working, which means they're dependents, which means they're using schools, the health service, all of these things. And we now know the truth, that selective immigration can be very good for diversity, very good for the economy, very good for all of those things. And you could argue that for decades, up until the early 2000s, it was working really well. But now, not only is it a catastrophe for people's way of life, not only does it deny them access to services, mass immigration is making Britain poorer. And the fact that Keir Starmer today doesn't seem to think it's a priority shows you that with these two parties, it is only going to get worse.
Nigel, you be honest with people.
We need a complete... We need to leave the ECHR so we can deport people that come illegally and take back control of our borders and our lives.
You be honest with people.
And that's what the public wants.
We could not control our borders for 2020. Following that, you had COVID. Following that, you had Ukraine and Hong Kong. Which of those people would you have not let into this country?
I'm sorry.
That's
what's happened. Sorry.
Now we have got...
No.
Now we have got leaders at our disposal.
In 2023,
you know that's true.
In 2023, we were not taking people from
You
Ukraine.
are not the only person
we were not
in this
taking people from Hong Kong.
who's concerned about migration.
We were not... Well,
we are also concerned about migration. I personally am concerned about it.
If you were concerned, I'm amazed you stood for the party again at the general election, giving that level of betrayal. It is shameful.
We made our mistakes. We made a mistake.
OK, all right.
Yes, of course, the mistake.
Let's bring the rest of the panellists.
14 years of mistakes.